Alright, this is a class demo for the 7th Cavalry for the Combat Lifesaver. Uh, and currently we have our instructors around, which our primary instructor will be Second Lieutenant Albright. Cadres will be myself, First Lieutenant Hilberg, Captain Rodall, Major Gergich, PFC Fryer, and Specialist Bishop. And I will pass my talking stick over to Albright.
All right, thank you. So, to officially kick this off, welcome to today's class, the Combat Lifesaver course. My name is Second Lieutenant Albright. I believe you are all already know myself, so I'm skipping the intro part here. This class will take approximately 90 minutes, although, again, I'm not too sure about this, so it might take also a bit shorter than this. So, as always, the ground rules, no unauthorized or unsafe weapon discharges at any time. Also keep in mind this is an official CAF setting, so you must observe all 7th CAF rules and regulations while in this class. You are encouraged to have a notebook out to take notes, however, important points will be reinforced for you to remember throughout the class. If you have any question, type a question mark for now. I mean, we are a small class, so if you have a question, just ask when I take a break. Otherwise, ping me in the side chat. And most importantly, have fun. If we're later in game, type a question mark in game if you have a question. So, course objective. What this class is about. You will learn the essential knowledge for a combat lifesaver and a platoon medic, the principles of tactical combat casualty care during care under fire and tactical field care, how to provide medical care following the FAIR process, what's the difference between routine and priority treatment, and how to respond to a mass case and performing a triage. So why all of that? This course will introduce you to, as I said earlier, the tactical combat casualty care utilized in the 7th CAF. This knowledge will prepare you to fill the role of a combat lifesaver and a platoon medic effectively. So, so by the end of this course, you'll be able to perform the duties of a combat lifesaver in an infantry squad or of a platoon medic attached to a combat platoon. Obviously, to become proficient and remain competent, you must practice with your squad and platoon in both training and operations regularly. So, let's start with some essential knowledge, basically some terminology. In this section, we'll familiarize yourself with the levels of care, which is the fundamental knowledge for tactical combat casualty care. From now on, I'll refer to it as TCCC, and as well as the practical use of your medical equipment. So, first we start with the combat lifesaver. A combat lifesaver is a rifleman first who provides life-saving care as a secondary role to their primary combat role. A combat medic, on the other hand, is a medical specialist who is attached to the platoon headquarters of a combat unit, so as a platoon medic. Within a squad of the 7th CAF, one soldier will be designated equipped as a combat lifesaver. Due to a combat lifesaver being present in every infantry squad, they're able to provide life-saving care to a casualty prior to the arrival of platoon medics. Now let's move over to the levels of care. So there are 3 levels of care for each medical correction. There are 3 levels of care for the medical providers. The trooper is able, like the trooper that is not a CLS or medic, is able to conduct basic first aid, and from there the care scales. Note that not every casualty will require the highest level of care to become effective. So beyond the basic first aid, we have the combat life-saving care. The CLS, so the combat lifesaver, is trained to stop massive hemorrhaging and administer basic medications. They possess the same amount of permissions as actual medics, but carry less medical equipment due to the necessity of carrying a combat load. The next step is the platoon medical care. So platoon medics, as mentioned, are attached to each infantry platoon headquarters. They provide initial triage when able, coordinate the medical efforts and medical resupply for the respective platoon, and establish platoon-level casualty collection points, or CCPs. They have access to much greater supply than the CLS, and so are able to carry greater amount of medical equipment at the expense of a combat load. And they usually also deploy in an ambulance. So far for the roles. Within TCCC, we differentiate between different phases of medical care. The first one is called Care Under Fire, or short CUF. It describes the medical care performed in the hot zone, so where there is still an ongoing firefight or otherwise imminent danger, such as direct contact with an enemy or indirect fire, IDF. This phase is particularly common for the CLS, as they are always riflemen first, and therefore they are likely to be present near a casualty while the firefight is still going on. As such, the priority is always to win the firefight first. We'll be looking more into the CUF phase in particular later, just keep that in mind for now. The other phase is the Tactical Field Care, or TFC phase. It describes where the medical treatment performed on the battlefield, however without the imminent threat of enemy fire. This is usually done within the yellow or even green zone. So this is where the more advanced medical treatment will be performed on the casualty. So, for the next one, I'd like you all to, we can still remain here in voice, but I'd like you to tap in game. So, you see those medical crates I've placed down there? So make sure to equip yourself with the following items. A bandage. Actually, let's make it different. Equip yourself, please, with the following items if you can carry it. 4 times tourniquets. Let me know when you are set. Just let me know. 4 times bandages. 4 times tourniquets first. After that, you grab 12 bandages.
How many morphines?
10 times morphine. By the way, if anyone needs backpacks, let me know. I'll drop an arsenal for the backpack. I forgot that earlier. So 4 tourniquets, 12 bandages, 10 morphine, 4 times epinephrine, and 2 times saline.
Is the arsenal not working for anybody else?
Say again?
Is the arsenal not working for anyone else? I can take morphine advantages, just nothing else.
Do not use the take option, open the arsenal, and then just right click. Works for me.
Yeah, it's working. Okay.
Yeah. Alright, but notice I didn't consider that this could be an option. Good to know. Alright. So, now I'll go over the equipment and what it does. And you just equip it. So, for this purpose, have it in your quick item slots. Obviously, if you are in a combat role and you also carry, like your CLS and you carry a rifle, grenade and stuff, then you might need to switch things around. But for now, please put all the listed medical items in your quick bar. So, step away from the crates once you got all the stuff. If you need me to say again what you need, let me know.
The saline is proving difficult to fit in.
Yeah.
I should probably place
Only able to grab one.
Yeah, I'll place down arsenal crate next to us so you can get backpacks. I did not consider that. So grab yourself a backpack if you need. I put that down as a note. That would be good. That I get you all guys equipped with that at the start. So once you're set up, step away from the crates. So I know you guys are ready. All right. So first of all, we have. Oh wait, spider still. All right. So
Okay, go.
first of all, we have the bandage. They're pretty simple. Um, Actually, let's skip one part. So, the medical equipment. Now place down those medical crates, which contains everything. In Reforger, you will encounter those 4 pieces of vital medical equipment for both CLS and platoon medics. And this equipment can be found in the arsenal, at the field hospital, or at a command tent, where, however, only bandages and tourniquets are stored. So if you need to get restocked on bandages and tourniquets, you can grab them also from the command post. So, first of all, we have the bandages. Pretty simple. They are used to treat bleeding and are carried by everyone on the battlefield in various quantities. Unlike in Armor 3, they do not fall off, and there is only one version. As mentioned, they can also be found in the command tents and in limited quantities in vehicles. Next one, we have the tourniquet. The tourniquet can be found in command tents as well in field hospitals, and are used to quickly restrict blood flow and stop 90% of the blood loss. However, they are much faster to apply than bandages. Take this into account, they're only a temporary solution and should be removed upon the placement of a bandage on the affected limb. The next one, we have the morphine. The morphine has a red tip. I'm mentioning the tip because if we get more advanced medical mods in the future, they might add more medications where the color of the medication becomes important. So morphine is red tip. It reduces pain and restores limb functionality. In game terms, it's while it helps with reduced accuracy and movement speed due to injuries, morphine can also be used to wake up unconscious victims faster. Impaired movement is indicated by a broken bone symbol when checking the casualty. We'll be looking at this later. Next one, we have saline, our water bag. So the saline is used to restore blood volume, and it's connected via an IV and secured to the patient's arm while the fluid slowly transfuse. One saline bag restores 30% of the total volume, and like a casualty can possibly have, and it takes about 1 to 2 minutes to fully empty into a patient. Only one saline bag can be attached at the same time, and you might need multiple saline bags to restore a patient to a normal blood volume. Lastly, we have epinephrine. It's a syringe with a yellow tip. It is used to increase the wake-up chance in unconscious patients, and it can only be used on unconscious patients. So you can try to stab each other with it will not work. All right, and lastly, you probably saw it in the box. There's also the medical kit or the medical box. It is not carried by the CLS by default, but it should be noted. When placed, it provides medical resupply capabilities, and it can fully heal a body part or injury when in vicinity of an ambulance or field hospital and requires some supply to hand. When away from ambulance or field hospital, it can only heal to a certain level. So, next, we talk about the vital signs next, and for this, I'd like you to move up to the dummies here. Oh, can you all look at the dummy? Do not do anything yet. Just find one for yourself. And once you look at him, you get the option to, for me as a PC player, it's the F button to check injury. Captain Rodal, what does Mr. Yaroslav Sokap tell you when checking?
He tells me he has a minor injury.
Yes. So minor injury. So there are currently 3 vital parameters, of which you can see 2 of them. Major Critch, what can you see with Mr. Chermak?
Minor injury and light bleed.
Correct. So there you see 2. So you have the injury level, the bleeding intensity, and the blood loss. For the injury level, you have minor injury, moderate injury, and serious injury. So 3 levels. The injury level is part of Reporter's Manila medical system, and it indicates the overall severity of an injury. Then we have the bleeding intensity, which describes how fast a patient is losing blood at the moment. There is light, moderate, and heavy bleeding. Now, lastly, I talked about the blood loss, and there is no. It's a bit tricky because it is only visible for the patient itself when opening the inventory. For that purpose, I'd like you all to quickly walk into the barbed wire briefly. I'll just heal you after, and injure yourself. Just step into the wire for a quick moment until your pain sound move out. If you now open the inventory, you should see, if you're still bleeding, if not, just do it again. You should see a red blood drop to the center top right of your inventory screen. Everybody sees it?
I only have a impaired movement indicator.
Okay.
My leg is still bleeding.
Actually, I just realized. All right, I just realized I
There we
can
go.
just admin let me just admin bleed you. Heal and start bleeding. Start bleeding. Hilberg, start bleeding, and Fries are bleeding. So, if you now press tab, you can see that blood symbol. You all see it?
Yeah.
All right. So, as you can see, it should be a fully filled out blood drop, fully filled out as red. If you start losing blood, like Hilberg, for example, I'm going to editing you to 50% blood level now. You should now be able to see that the blood drop is only half full, right? Like close and open the stuff again. I'm changing it on you guys as well. All right, so now all of you close and open the your inventory again, and now you should see that the blood drop you got from plating is slightly like grayed or blacked out. You guys all see that?
Yep.
That indicates your level of blood loss, so you can roughly tell how much percentage you have left. Now, as I mentioned earlier, there's no way of telling it on your own, like if a patient has that. Now, there's a very simple solution what you can do if a patient is conscious. Anyone has an idea how you can find out what level of blood loss they have?
Have them access their inventory and check for you.
Say again?
And access their inventory and check for you.
You
If
can
they're
only
conscious.
if they're no. There's an even simpler way. Any idea? If they're conscious and they're a player, you can literally just ask them. Tell them, hey, open your inventory. You see that blood drop symbol to the center right? Like, how much is it filled with the red color? This way you can get a good estimate of their blood loss. Currently, there is no other way as far as I know. For an unconscious patient, it is more complicated, but we'll talk about this later. So, that being said, we are done with the first part of this classroom. I'm doing a quick comprehension check. Anyone can tell me what's the primary and secondary role of a combat lifesaver?
Primary
primary is a rifleman, and
Yeah,
secondary is a medic.
Yes. So the first rifleman, second providing life-saving care. So what is the purpose of a platoon medic, Captain Rodell?
Purpose of a platoon medic is to resupply the combat lifesavers as needed. They can also establish CCPs and help with triage on a platoon level.
All right, very nice. I just noticed you can all literally see the answers, so that's a bit of cheating. Wait, I believe, Crit, you do not have the document open right now. What is the limitation of the medical kit?
Oh, you mean the brown box?
Yes.
That thing? It, you can only use it to spawn stuff if there's supplies nearby, and it doesn't really do its primary function if you're not near an ambulance or a field hospital.
Yes, so to fully heal injuries, you require supplies that need to be near an ambulance or field hospital. All right, very good. For the next part, we talk over the FAIR process. So, medical care consists of find, assess, intervene, and reassess phases, also known as FAIR. It's the FAIR process. Note that while all those steps should be followed thoroughly, in some cases, more common while acting as platoon medic or as an advanced care provider, steps might need to be stepped over due to extreme situations. However, this should only be done in emergency situations. Generally speaking, the whole FAIR process will be a guideline to base yourselves on so you don't miss anything. So, the following example, we'll talk over an example of a FAIR process being used where we assume there's only a single critical casualty. We'll cover more situations with multiple casualties later. So, each of the letters in FAIR, as mentioned earlier, stands for a particular word. First, we have the find phase. So first, you want to find out whenever you are in a care under fire, a COF, or a tactical field care TFC situation. Well, for now, we just assume that we are in a tactical field care. Next, you find out if the casualty is alive. That's if you see a casualty in a distance and you're not sure, if they're just lying down or unconscious, you can obviously call them out in the distance and listen for response. And if you're more closely, you can check for vital signs at the torso and diagnose any injuries. That was what he did earlier when he checked for injuries. If you do not get the option, but instead only the search option, then the casualty is deceased. Obviously, then there's no need for further treatments. Also, find out if you're going to need help from your squad mates. Yell out if you need covering fire or smoke to get to the casualty. If you need covering fire or smoke to move the casualty to cover, so you can assess them. Or if you need help applying tourniquets or bandage, in case there's a lot of bleeding. Lastly, find out if you need a medevac or help from another platoon medic. So, the next phases are assess and intervene. And so during the assessment phase, we are identifying first which injuries are present and which casualties need to be tackled first. Follow the saying, treat first but kills first. So, when you have a casualty, use the free lock, which is left alt on PC, to easily find the interaction points while assessing a casualty to avoid being unable to assess specific body parts. So during the assess phase, we identify first if the casualty requires so-called priority treatment. Priority treatment it is required if the casualty is unconscious or has heavy bleeding, so the strongest bleeding intensity. After that, you identify the patient requiring routine treatment. If the patient requires routine treatment, or priority treatment is red tag, routine treatment is yellow tag. Yellow tag is defined as stable injuries that will not result in immediate death, which would be light and moderate bleeding, or having a high blood loss present. Lastly, patients requiring minor treatment, or that are green tag, those Those are the ones that have stable injuries, meaning there's no active bleeding, as well as they might have any other injury or blood loss that has not been covered by routine or priority treatment. So, how does this work in practice? So if you have a casualty and your first assessment determines that a casualty requires priority treatment, then you move into the intervene stage of FAIR, so I in FAIR, which for priority treatment or red tag casualties is to first stop the massive bleeding first. So this can be done by applying tourniquets or bandages. If multiple people are present, even if they're just troopers, direct them to help you out with bandaging on a different body parts. So, for example, I'll say operate the tourniqueting the limbs, and then I at the same time say to Biter, who would be standing next to me, Biter, bandage the torso. So, the first you want to stop the massive bleeding. As mentioned, tourniquets only stop 90% of the blood flow, so it's not about stopping all the bleeding, just really the one that will basically kill the casualty very quickly. Secondly, once this is done, treat the cause for the unconsciousness, if the casualty is unconscious. So first, administer morphine to eliminate the pain, causing the patient to improve faster. If you suspect a high blood loss, administer saline. If in doubt, give saline. So as mentioned earlier, you have no reliable way of telling how much how much blood someone has lost that is unconscious. However, BFC Fryer, let's assume you see a casualty that is unconscious and has heavy bleeding, and you had to bandage multiple limbs. Do you think it's likely that they have a high blood loss, and that's the reason why they turned unconscious?
Yes.
Yes. So in doubt, give saline. It's not like an armor tree where there's some pH value. If in doubt, give saline. Lastly, actually not lastly, next you put the casualty into recovery position, which is an option you're giving when looking at them while unconscious, and which once again will speed up the recovery. Finally, administer epinephrine to increase the wake-up chance of the casualty. As mentioned earlier, epinephrine increases the wake-up chance, so if someone is still in a very low, still on a very low blood level, then they will not wake up, right? So this is why we give epinephrine last, because it just increased the chance to wake up now. I just realized I forgot to mention earlier, when I was talking about the blood loss, that we have also 4 levels there. The first one is like mild blood loss, which is if they have more than 80% of the total blood volume. Moderate blood loss is if they have less than 80 but greater than 65%. High blood loss is greater than 45 greater than 45 but lower than 65%, and severe blood loss is below 50% blood volume, while every casualty will turn unconscious once they hit 33% blood volume. Remember, each saline bag restores 30% of the blood volume, so usually one saline bag is enough to get someone back to the consciousness barrier of 33, unless they are literally like at 1 or 2% blood loss. Alright, so let's move back to where we were. I just accidentally skipped over that earlier. There we go. So this is the priority intervention you do for red tags. Anyone had those criteria, so unconscious or massive bleeding, you treat that and only that first. After this is done, you do the so-called routine intervention. So for the yellow tag, which is you stop all the bleeding. So even if it's just minor bleeding, meaning that you fully bandage them. So if any wounds were previously mitigated by a tourniquet, you administer a bandage. You administer the bandage on said limb before removing the tourniquet. Otherwise, they will just, get full bleeding again while you apply the bandage. If you haven't done earlier, you administer morphine for the pain. And since yellow tag casualties are conscious, you also ask them for their blood loss and administer saline if it's moderate or high. Lastly, again, if it's available, apply the medical kits to each injured body parts to reduce the injured level and related restriction to combat ability. Lastly, the minor interventions, which is literally everything else. This is restoring the blood volume if needed. So, and obviously if the resources are available, so if you're low on saline, you're not going to give someone saline that's like on 90%, right? But generally, if you can, restore the blood volume fully and fully heal each injured body parts with the medical kit while being near an ambulance or field hospital. Lastly, in the FAIR process, we have the R, which stands for reassesses. So, after you're done with your treatment, reassess your casualty or casualties if they're multiple. So, check if their interventions were successful, if you didn't skip over any bleeding, see if there may be new injuries, like, in the battlefield on a dynamic situation, maybe you got an additional casualty that just moved up to you. I didn't say anything yet. And determine if more help is needed. Maybe you need a resupply, maybe maybe you need to resupply, maybe you need to report a black tag or what's up. So, always update your fire team or section leader as required. So this is if you're a CLS. This is where the majority of your handoffs is going to be provided. Your FTL will be looking at you to give updates on the casualty. So always report once your treatment is completed and the outcome using the triage categories. So, quick comprehension check. We'll be soon moving into the practical. Don't worry. Specialist Bishop. What injuries categorize a casualty as priority treatment or red tag?
Unconsciousness and heavy bleeding.
Absolutely. But I didn't mention this earlier, but why do you think is unconscious also red tag classification?
Unconscious might show that they're under 33% on blood loss.
Yes, and more importantly, they cannot move. Like the moment someone is unconscious, they cannot move, they cannot fight back. So someone has to babysit them, so to speak, all the time. So even if they don't die, like you can remain unconscious and stable, but if you face enemy contact, if you need to break contact, you basically always need to be carried. Someone needs to be looking at you. So someone red tag is still someone that absolutely need to be treated for the sake of the combat efficiency of your full element. So yes, correct. PFC Friar. What's the first step you do when treating an unconscious casualty?
You check for bleeding first.
Correct. And what you do if there is bleeding? If there's heavy bleeding?
The heavy bleeding, you will, well, depending on what type of limb it is, you'll administer turning kit and then bandage, or if not, you will bandage them and
Like
then give saline.
Yeah, I stop the bleeding. Like on that, I would say that that currently there is tourniquets do go quicker, but like especially if it's only heavy bleeding, like from one limb or whatever, you can still use a bandage. So it's still a bit situational. I mentioned tourniquets first because generally they go faster, but it is situational which item you use. Colonel Biter. Can you quickly describe me the difference between CUF and TFC? The treatment the care under fire and treatment under between.
Care.
Yeah, I just noticed that was put in wrongly. Between care under fire and tactical field care.
Care under fire is to basically treat or win the firefight first before treating the casualty, essentially. Once then, you treat the most wounded soldier and move on. And then, what was the other one? What was the abbreviation stand for?
Tactical field care, TFC.
Tactical field care. God, I'm drawing a blank. It just went through my head.
All good. Lieutenant Hilberg, you want to add to this?
Say again. Sorry, I was distracted. I just got an
So
emergency alert on my
just
phone.
in very simple terms, short and quick, the difference between care under fire and tactical field care.
Care under fire and tactical field care. And the simplest of terms,
CUF and TFC.
yeah, simplest of terms. Always win the firefight first, right? That's why you're rifleman first, medic second, and then tactical field care. There's kind of no threat to any enemy, so you're able to assist the patient immediately. But then you need to discern between the two.
Pretty much that. Just one minor correction. When you say no threats, TFC can still be in the yellow zone. So it's always important to still maintain security. You know, if you are like in a platoon medic team, it could be a medical body, or if you're CLS to teammates, because situations can be dynamic and still change. So it's not in a safe zone, but it's definitely no longer where there's the immediate threat. Correct. And lastly, Major Critch, why do we administer saline to an unconscious patient? When,
Because-
not why. Sorry.
Well, when?
Yes.
Well, when you're not getting shot at, or if you're in a safe enough area to make that viable.
I mean, yeah, you do it in the TFC phase, so you wouldn't do it in the kind of fire phase. What I was trying to get here, that if you suspect them that they have lost a high amount of blood, so but in doubt, we just give saline.
Yeah.
And when would you give saline to a conscious patient?
You ask them what their blood loss level is at.
Okay, the patient says he is on he's on mild blood loss.
Uh,
The lowest level.
yeah, I wouldn't bother. It's like moderate or worse, probably, where you want to, assuming you're a CLS and not
Yep.
at a med 10.
Yes, so it depends on the, you would give saline as part of a green tag or minor treatment if your resource allows it. Like, generally, you're correct. A minor blood loss is nothing that, like, if you get just shot and bandaged up immediately, you will probably already have minor blood loss. So they don't need saline, but if you are yet lower at the CCP, we have an abundance of saline, then you can give it if no other casualties are present that have high priority. But it's definitely not going to be your first priority. Correct. All right. I now talked for quite a lot. Let's move into the two practicals. So, there will be a series of practicals, which will start off with a tactical field care situation. You are assigned as a combat medic, so platoon medic, and move to an area that has been previously secured by friendly forces. So for this, we'll be moving in game. I'll just need a quick moment to make the final setups. I believe all of you are acting as student here, right? We do not have any hardware, so to speak.
I mean, if you need a dummy, I can be a dummy.
Okay, because I would need probably like ideally I want one dummy per student. I'm not sure how this valuable here. Otherwise, I use those dummies here and.
You want
Yeah,
to
actually.
work in pairs?
Actually, this. Yeah, that's actually a good idea. We need to talk about this later. How we could maybe just make this a bit more efficient. Although, for the sake of time, how many people do we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, yes, please get grouped in pairs of 2. So just find yourself pairs of 2. I'm not included. Alright, so this one is kind of like a try practice, so you're not required to shoot. As I said, in this scenario, they have already been like, the area has already been secured. So what I want you to see here is to use the fair process, so treat them in right order. Any volunteer for the dummies first?
I'll be a dummy first.
Alright, Spider and Critch, first of all, we move in-game now. Spider, Critch, I'll teleport. Actually, I'll want you to move to I'll teleport you, whatever. Let's move in game. I'll talk to you in a moment. The other teams, you guys should already be equipped fine. Just stand by for now, and let's go in game. Alright, so my dummy volunteers, please follow me. So, what I want to do here is I want the guys to basically practice. Let's move a bit further. Practice treatment in a safe zone, so they should be focused on a casualty. For that I want one of you to basically I will start some bleeding. Ryder, would you be so kind and be the one who is going to be lethally injured?
Yeah, I can toss a grenade at my feet. Where do you need me?
So, Rodal, I want you to shoot him a couple of times in the leg and arm.
I'll stand up against the wall to make yourself. Oh, yeah, I'll stand up against the wall to make it easy for you.
Yes. So, Colonel, it was nice serving with you. Please face the wall. Just if you... No, stay back.
Oh, so you needed 3, that's what Gert said. That's what we were asking.
Wait, what?
Did you need 3 dummies or just the 2?
No, just 2. It's fine, just 2.
Oh, okay. Alright.
So, shoot when ready, Rodal? Oh, okay. Right.
This is an official camp setting.
Alright, now stand by. You can just act fine as don't bandage yourself.
What, you want me to bandage myself?
No, don't. Just walk against the wire there, please, if you'll be so kind. And,
Ow.
Wait, Spider, don't worry, I'll knock you out. Just don't bandage yourself. Just...
Okay. This is...
Okay, Rodal, I don't know how you did this. Just respawn and teleport, and I'll teleport yourself back there. I generally no idea how you managed to do that. Okay, Rodal, walk once again against the fence. Just not too much. Just that's fine. Stop. And now stay there. So call out what you see and what you're doing.
Yep. Light bleed on fighter, unconscious.
So what's category is he?
So that would be. It'd only be routine, right?
He's unconscious,
Because
so
was unconscious or red, I guess.
he's conscious, so he's red. Which means he gets priority treatment.
Right, bandaging arm. Looks like his leg too.
Since we have a routine, a priority casualty, that is where you would also go. Alright, explain what you're doing next and why.
Administering saline. Because he's unconscious, it's probably due to blood loss.
Anything else you could administer?
We can see if it'll take epi. Yeah, it'll let me, so
Epi
administering that.
increases the... Fryer, got any other ideas? Yes, good idea. We'll talk about it in a moment, but yeah, administer. Alright, do you think there's anything more you... Ah yes, very nice. You put him in recovery position, which is another thing that increased the chance. Anything else you could do at the moment, or you think you're done for the moment with him?
Well, if we had an area to like recover him in, so like a field hospital or something, you could take them there.
Alright, we don't have at the moment, so anything else?
I don't think so.
Alright, in that case, keep an eye on him, but you can move the other casualty. Or actually, there are 2 casualties, I believe.
Alright, Rodol, how much blood loss do you have?
What about that guy?
Man,
Isn't
looks
he red
pretty
tag
dead to
user?
me.
sitting on high.
Yes, he's dead. He's black dead, correct. Alright, carry on.
I'm sitting at high blood loss.
Oh shit, alright. Not sure why you're not banishing yourself. Did you fall and hit your head?
I was instructed not to.
No, he did not attend basic training. He has no idea how to do that.
Yeah, that's true.
Alright. Well, we should apply saline, because he's pretty low. You got that. And it doesn't want to let you put morphine in. Just have to wait for the saline to be fully applied.
You cannot inject morphine because I believe he doesn't have... Rodol, are you like in pain? Do you have any broken bones?
It says I have impaired movements, but beyond
okay,
that,
then you should be able to get the morphine, but I can't get it to you either. Interesting. Okay, so what category is he now?
Well, he's not bleeding or anything, so I guess you'd go switch to minor, right? Even though he was at high blood loss, which would have been orange or whatever.
Yeah, so what can you do? You want to reassess, so you want to see what his blood loss level is now?
Yeah, what's your blood loss at now, buddy?
right now I'm sitting at mild blood loss.
Alright, yes, so mild blood loss, so assuming soon the movement, like the impaired movement will go away from improving, you will be green tag. Now, you did F, A, I, and the last step is reassess. Anything it could reassess?
Yeah, biter.
He woken up.
Severe. I am seeing black and white.
Alright. More saline
So
than you.
what
I feel like I'm in the
category is he
1940s.
Prior, what is he? What category? Green, yellow, or red?
Sorry, my mic was muted. He is at yellow. He is alert, but he is still injured.
I mean, injured is not really. In that case, he is because he has the high blood loss still, which Courage is currently fixing. Okay, since we need to run this with the two other teams, but would you say all of them are stable now, and you would be able to carry on from here to get them, fully healed at hospital?
Yeah.
Okay, very nice. In that case, this was the first exercise for you guys. Just real quick feedback overall. I mean, I commented on a lot and made you explain a lot, which again is because you're the first team. The The only real criticism I have is that you administer the epi pretty early. However, the epi only gives you the wake-up chance. He was still likely at a blood loss at this point where he physically could not wake up. So the epi literally didn't give you any benefit there. The morphine, it's also something that speeds up the recovery speed. So you always, if possible, you always want to give morphine, recovery position, and if needed, saline before you administer the epi. So in an unconscious patient, the epi is kind of the last thing because it's nice to have, but it's kind of pointless if the casualty is still on high, like on a very high blood loss, right? Any questions from you two?
Yeah, are we supposed to be doing this on regular ACE medical or vanilla? Because those answers differ with what you're talking about.
We're doing this on the current ACE medical we're using. The ACE prototype, which we run on Tech 2, which changes a lot of things, is currently not approved yet. Obviously, the class will change. This is currently for pretty much vanilla plus the epi. I believe the epi is also added with one of the mods, but for everything else, we're pretty much on vanilla still, which is what this class is currently about.
Gotcha.
All right. Then I'll get you guys filled up. Thanks for the dummies.
I feel like a dummy.
Yeah, so Critch, Fryer, you'll be dummies next. Rodal and Biter, you'll be going next. For this one, Critch, Fryer, please hold still. Don't move in. That's fine. Ooh, I hit him quite well. Critch, if you would be so kind and walk into the barbed wire briefly. Oh no!
Sorry. It's just he's just walking.
Also, yeah, move in. Rodal, I believe, still in medical equipment. I'll drop your crate in a moment, but you can already move in. Explain what you're doing and why.
Checking this. Light bleeding, moderate to injury. He is red tag, and try to get him unconscious for some stopping bleeding.
All right. For this purpose, you do have two riflemen standing around, Lieutenant Hilberg and Specialist Bishop. You can ask them for help, however, they're not allowed to do anything unless instructed by you directly, because they still don't get the medical system very well. If you want to help, call it out.
Secretary Lieutenant Hilberg, could you provide security northbound on this fence here?
Roger that. Clear my back blast.
Alright, Ryder, what did you do on that casualty?
I checked for injuries. I looked for any bleeding. He had no bleeding at all, so I applied a saline bag and a morphine drip to make sure he stayed stable, and then he woke up and put him in recovery position beforehand.
Very nice.
How are you feeling, Briar?
I have heavy blood loss.
Okay, well you have a saline drip in one of your arms right now. I think it's your left arm.
The arm, I've stopped both bleeding.
Let me know how that goes. I'm gonna go check on Gurgich.
Soon. And then I'll be administering the saline. Unless, Biter, you administered saline in the left arm?
Okay, I shall administer saline. Saline has been administered.
The patient still has injury. Let me see if I can apply some morphine.
Oh, he woke up? Nice.
Morphine in the leg. And then saline is going in. Patient is improving. We can now remove
How are you feeling?
I am still sitting at high blood loss now.
Gurgich, can you tell me about your blood levels?
Is your saline still in?
But I am no pain.
Okay. Do you still have saline going into you or no?
Be, putting in
No.
a
Okay,
secondary saline bag. Does it matter if you put in saline bags at the same time? Can you do that?
You can only attach one saline bag at a time.
Okay, so that means the
On
secondary
only one limb, or
ceiling
just
is
like on the
going.
entire body?
The whole body.
There you go. You have another bag of saline that's attached to your arm.
Thank you.
Actually, really cool. That does show that attached to the arm. Huh. The more you know.
Alright, so your casualties are what category now?
I would say they Gurgage is yellow because of the severe blood loss, and I will be administering an additional saline bag once this one disappears.
Very nice.
There we go.
Prior is green. Once the saline goes, he will be fully functional.
Alright, they got a divine healing. Rodal, actually, Rodal and Biter. I believe you're next.
Say what? You cut out. Or next what?
Rodal, Biter. You're the next for what's the term for dummies, right?
I mean,
Sure.
we were the first dummies.
No, I'm a
but
dummy.
we-
I'm a
Who
dummy.
wasn't dummy? Oh, alright. Hilberg and Bishop, right? You weren't dummies yet. Please move around the corner in front of the building here. I want to try something. This might go wrong. Everyone else, stay back. No. Everyone else around the wall. Actually, Hilberg. Okay, so wait. Hilberg and Bishop, you weren't dummies yet, or who was
No,
dummies
we
yet? I
weren't
kinda
dummies.
lost it. Those who were not dummies yet, stand over here. The rest stands around the corner.
I don't think we've done either one,
No, it's
Gurgich,
but I want to touch you.
over here.
I mean, okay, whatever, I just need two dummies. Okay, Hilberg, once we're on the corner, you have the honor and you're able to blow yourself up with that launcher. Everyone clear the area?
Jeez.
This is either going to go terribly or wonderfully.
He's gonna die.
clear my back flat. Oh man.
I don't think
Alright,
Backblast
guys.
is enabled.
Back out.
Oh,
I think he's dead.
Okay.
got two casual. Oh,
Oh,
there we go.
oh goddammit. Those times, goddammit. Okay, no.
That
They're
does
black tags. Alright, moving on.
Okay, that did not go as planned, but that's fine. Please walk yourself into the barbed wire.
So we got 2 black tags.
Yes, but walk yourself in the barbed wire now. This unfortunately did not count.
Yeah, oh, man.
Walk yourself in the barbed wire, please. Stay still.
Oh,
Oh, one's down.
There's one.
Alright, move in.
I'm a rifleman, Biter. You be the CLS.
Oh, okay. I'll check on Hilberg.
I'll post security eastbound.
Cool, thank you. Alright, Hilberg, you're a little messed up. That's fine.
As always, call out what you're doing.
Alright, bandaging one leg. Oh, his other arm's bandaged. Oh, shoot. They're open. Okay, that's another one. And his face. Alright, he's at severe injury, but not bleeding anymore. Hooray! Saline time. Saline in his right arm, or left arm. And let's shoot him with morphine. Whichever button it is. There it is. Alright, it should be fine. Okay. Light bleeding.
Rider, you have a second medic in your team?
Who's the second medic?
Rodolph.
Oh, Rodolph's doing his rifleman stuff.
No, you're both sent there as a medic, so it wasn't clear there yet.
Oh, hey, Rodolph, I need your hand on Fryer here.
I'm coming.
He's got bandages on his. He needs a bandage up on his. I'm doing his left arm. You want to check the other one? Hilbert, stop walking into the barbed wire. Damn it, Hilbert.
Bishop is improving.
All right. Hilbert walked himself into the barbed wire. We need to check him for. We need to do a exam to make sure he's not mentally stable. Make sure he's mentally stable.
Exam. Otherwise, I'm black on saline, so you might have to push saline into Bishop.
If you need saline, we have a back over there. We have a medical crate over there if you need supplies. So,
Right.
Bider, what's your priority?
He's got saline. He's got saline. He should be good. Unless his saline right now. He's in the recovery position. Did you give Bishop saline?
No, I didn't have saline.
Okay. Giving him saline. Did you give him any meds?
No meds.
Okay. There you go. He's got. All right. I just gave him morphine in the leg. He'll be fine. He's in the recovery position. How is Hilbert?
Anything else you can give him?
I can probably give him epi. I was gonna wait a minute till he got the morphine kicking into him.
First, Lieutenant Hilbert, could you advise me of your blood volume situation?
Epi has been administered. He should be waking up eventually.
So, you said...
High blood loss.
Roger that. I will administer saline solution.
I am impaired.
You have been administered.
Also, I need to make a correction to earlier. The fully, like, you would still have some impairment even with the morphine. It only fully goes away, I believe, if you're fully healed with a medkit. So if someone still has it after giving morphine, then yes, they then can be still green tag. Alright, so Bider,
Yes.
anything else you can do, you can think of?
He's got one morphine. He's got a morphine drip and a saline drip. I don't think you put a tourniquet on him, right, Rodol?
Epi.
I already gave him epi. I gave him morphine and epi.
Okay, I'll tell you.
I give him another shot of epi.
Nope,
Set up
will not do the trick.
Hilbert, if you please take it, Stan.
So, remember what's the limit for when someone will turn unconscious from blood loss?
Severe, ain't it?
How much percent is that?
I think it's like less than 33% or something.
Yes, and how much does one saline back restores?
Oh, he needs more saline. I'm out of saline.
It restores 30%.
Stores 30%.
No, so in most cases, like I can tell you, I gave him 2% blood volume, so he was almost near dying from blood loss. In this rare case, you need 2 saline back to get someone up again. And he will still require 2 in any way because, you know, otherwise you just barely get him up, but he might still, like, just, if the moment he loses just a bit of blood, he would otherwise turn unconscious again. So, here you go.
There he is.
He's up again.
He's awake.
Alright, very nice.
Can I ask a quick question?
Yeah, sure.
So, let's say you're in the middle of a field and your bleedings have been subsided or dealt with, and you are below 33%
Then you're unconscious, yes?
blood, and then you go unconscious, right? Are you then ever going to wake up without assistance?
So I know there's a very low automatic recovery. I believe this applies to unconscious, but it is rather slow. So I believe if you're not bleeding at all anymore, then you should be eventually waking up. But I think that's about it. Like, generally you will need help. Alright, let's make index on this exercise. I like what I saw. Just one thing I noticed. with situational awareness, I put Bishop in as first as a yellow tag casualty, and then he turned unconscious. Now the fact that he suddenly lost so much blood is a bit unrealistic, but if you see a second one going down, keep your situational awareness, because this can happen. Then a yellow or even a green tag can turn into a yellow tag if things go bad. But yeah, you recognized all the issues, we treated them, and they were both up. Now they would pretty much, I believe, only require further saline and just full treatment at the field hospital. Very nice. Any questions about this?
I wish there was a way you can give saline to both arms instead of just only being one bag.
I agree, but currently it is not good. Okay, so let me see. Now we have the next practical. Actually, okay, never mind. We're going to have a quick classroom part, another one, which is a preparation for the next practical, the Care Under Fire trail, the COF trail. This is largely relevant to the CLS. So, remember, do not lose sight of the fact that CLS is a rifleman first, so the best you can do with a casualty is usually to eliminate the threat. Care Under Fire begins when the combat lifesaver in the squad becomes aware of a casualty during a firefight. So, if that is the case, the following steps must be taken immediately. Win the firefight. Winning a firefight is always more important than important to the casualty's survival than the treatment you can provide. So as such, you first win the firefight, which is either through eliminating the enemy or establish fire superiority, to the point where the enemy is pulling out, is completely suppressed. You get the point. So, while winning a firefight, you might be able to, direct the casualty to return fire if they are conscious, and if they're in cover and cannot fire back for whatever reason, administer self-hit. So during the firefight, like if a firefight is going on, let's say ahead of us, and you see a guy clearly getting shot, do not run over the open field, obviously, but rather, if just win the firefight, and if they're in cover, tell them to bandage themselves, but do not rush over, start medical treatment while the firefight is still going on. If the casualty is unable to move, you can consider to move the casualty into cover as the tactical situation permits. So let's say someone goes down here right now while we are in a firefight, and it's really in the open field, and the firefight is still going on. And if the situation permits, you can you can request cover from a team. Your FTL will direct it, and then you track the casualty into safety. So this is not doing any advanced medical treatment. It's literally just pulling them into safety, so they do not get further hits, which will complicate things. If needed, you can also request concealment via smoke, and then look at them, and you have the option to either track or carry. So track for short distances, carry for long ones. After that, you continue the fire as directed or required. If you're moving casualty to cover, and you can consider quickly slapping a tourniquet on them. That's the maximum extent of medical care we're doing in the COF phase. You do not bandage, you do not administer any fluids. So, again, continue to fire as directed and required until the firefight is won. After that, we're entering the tactical field care phase, which is, again, basically everything else, like the treatment of a casualty to get them to full health again following the fair process. Or in terms of, if you're only CLS, to get them to as best as possible to green tag. After that, after doing your medical treatment, always do some reconsolidation. So ask your FTL for the ACE reports. Submit your ACE reports yourself if you require supply of medical equipment. And obviously, if the medic arrives, give him a quick handover. Note that depending on the situation as CLS, you may not be able to save a casualty due to certain factors, such as the enemy heavily outfires friendly units. So if we're standing here, a casualty goes down 20 meters in front of me, and there's suddenly a T-90 pulling up, and we are just like an infantry squad with pretty much no ATA capability. then it might be a case where we instead need to break contact and get the fuck out immediately, and we cannot move forward to get the casualty. Also, if there is enemy indirect fire, again, that's situational. If you can grab a casualty, you can of course do it, but if there is IDF going on and the casualty is in the open, you do not start leaving your cover. Generally, if there's a long distance, like in a fire team and squad, you should not go too far away in the first place. But if a casualty is just too far away, then it might just not be viable to get them. Like if they're unapproachable in general. In the situations above, as a CLS, advise your fire team that a casualty is not retrievable at the moment and disregard the medical aid. This is a controversial call, but it's important to maintain the safety of yourself and your squad first, because if you go down, then the main medical capability of your squad goes down, so do not take unnecessary risks if you believe it's not worth the result. Any questions on that? So in summary, it's really about winning the firefight, by getting fire superiority, if possible, track a casualty to safety, then once the firefight is won, just do your standard care treatment. This is really where it boils down to. All right, for the next exercise, I need so you'll be acting, which is so this is not how we usually deploy an operation. But I want you to run as basically a medical team. Again, this is not how we currently run our operations, but for this practical, it will serve the purpose. I need a team lead. Any volunteers?
I can volunteer for that.
Captain Roll, very nice. So you all get slotted out. Like there's a medical box ahead. You really should be fine with the standard kits infantry-wise. Just make sure, wait one. Restock your medical supplies, so you have once again 4 tourniquets, 12 bandages, 10 morphine, 4 epi, and 2 saline. So move over to the backs and restore it as mentioned earlier.
Look, PCC, PCI. Let's get the
So,
kit.
Rodo, I believe you see it in document. Get yourself stuffed out, make sure see whatever you want, but you do not need any other infantry weapons in the rifle. In addition of that, make sure you all have smoke grenades. If not, I believe you all have admin access, just spawn an arsenal quickly. So smoke grenades, and obviously a rifle with at least some max.
Yep.
Right, I'll get the remaining stuff set up. I'll be back in a moment.
Alright, I want, if you can fit 2, get 2 bags of salines. If not, 1 will suffice. Make sure you got the morphine and the bandages that we need.
You need some
I'll
extra
just need
smoke
smokes.
grenades. Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't have 3 smoke grenades? That's part of the infantry kits?
No, just 2.
And if you pull the one on your hotbar into your inventory, does that make it 3?
So
No.
Alright, the arsenal is next to us.
I ran all the way over there just.
Alright, gentlemen, you guys don't need time?
Yeah, I think we're done. If we're done, let's file up here towards the east. Bishop Hilberg, you ready, or are you sitting this one out?
I'm ready.
All right, we are all ready.
Okay, so, in that case, so open your maps, please.
Right. Oh,
Oh wait, I think it removed my. Okay, I think it removed the markers I put down when I got a quick disconnect. But
actually, do you mind if I set up the teams, Aubrey?
oh yeah, go for it. I'll place some other
Somebody.
markers in the meantime.
Team. All right. So, Bider, you're with me as buddy team. Gergich and Bishop, you'll be the primary medical providers. If we get more than 2 casualties, we'll get Fryer and Hilberg to step in as medical providers as well. Hilberg and Fryer, you'll provide security as primary tasking.
Roger that.
Roger.
Also, Hilberg, if you want to join our shack, you can do that and color up like a cool person. P for Panda.
Alright, now please open up the maps. So, we are currently at grid 077, attack 115, at Battalion 8 Station Fent. So, to your south-southwest at grid 078, attack 112. You see a church which is currently defended by a fire team-sized Viking 1 element. They have previously made contact with an FIA force to the east at the town of Sebring, which is performing probing attacks and raids towards our positions. During these engagements, several civilians who were attending mass at the church have been injured. The radio was a bit hectic, we have no idea how many it is. According to Viking 1 Actual, the FIA forces have been currently repelled. However, they cannot declare this area as green yet, as the FIA might conduct further attacks and just reconsolidate at the moment. Your task is to move to the Viking 1 and treat any casualties within Viking 1 and the civilians. You are authorized to use the ambulances at the area where we spawned. Rodal, you can reach me on 50. I'm Helios 6. And you guys are running as Viking 7, so you're all Viking 7 as a team. And again, you can reach me over 50. Rodal, what's your guys' squad net?
38.5.
38.5. Alright, in that case, if you're ready, get ready to move out. Just one reminder, so what I mainly wanted to see here is not just the medical treatment, but also the care under fire and tactical field care. So remember, this is a dynamic situation, so you need to be able to switch between those phases as needed. Also, you're not an infantry element, so while winning the firefight is obviously priority, your main job is, again, to do it in order to enter the TFC phase. So do not intercept any enemies or secure large areas around. Focus on the objective. Any questions?
Yeah, that sounds good. Could we just have the ambulances follow us to the church, or do you want us to move them ourselves?
You know what? Helios 1 has capability, so once you call in over radio, the ambulance can be delivered to your location.
Sound good. All right.
Right.
I should be good. Guys, are you ready to get going?
Alright,
Let's do it.
Good luck, everyone.
All right. Well, Viking 7, off we go. We're moving south following the road and reconvening with Viking 1 at the church. Bravo team, Gergich and Bishop, you can take us out and just maintain spacing of 20 meters, and we'll do this traveling until we get into contact. Sound good?
Yeah, what formation are we doing?
Or just do column staggered.
Okay.
Off we go. Also, watch out for these barbed wires. They're vicious. Helios 6, this is Viking 7, BR Oscar Mike to Viking 110 to deal with infantry casualty.
Viking 7, this is Helios 6, you are calling on 50, over.
Helios 6, this is Viking 7, we are Oscar Mike to deal with infantry casualties at
Contact.
Position.
FIA contact, southeast, 100 meters.
Eyes on.
Do we want to go around and go west and then south? Or do you want to
Yeah, let's
engage
go
them?
around. Break this contact. We push direct bearing 200. Let's keep
Okay.
moving, get closer. Avoid confrontation. Helios 6, this is Viking 7. We've encountered FIA combat fighting positions. We'll circumvent in order to get to Viking expeditiously. Oh.
Understood, out.
Might have to cut the corner straight south here, right?
Turn right. See that church steeple?
See?
Hey, Hilberg, I know what you're trying to do back there with the backblast. You're trying to be like Preacher.
Friendlies by the church, front of the church, north side.
Viking 7, this Helios 6, come in, over.
Let's go for Viking 7.
Be advised, Viking 1 has removed all casualties from the church and moved them to the outside. There are no casualties remaining within. There are no casualties remaining within the church itself.
Helios, this Viking 7, good copy. Alright guys, all of the casualties are outside of the church. Let's identify. Hilberg, maintain this position with Freyr until we can establish how many casualties there are. Bishop and Gergich, find out how many casualties are at this location.
Should I go to the other side and cover the other side?
I don't know.
Yeah, Hilberg,
All those guys
sorry, Vider,
sidetracked were
let's
like
set up here on the southeast position.
Okay.
Right, we're good. I'll stick there.
I don't think there's anything else over here.
Just these ones.
Yeah.
We already got the other guys providing security.
I'm eyes on contact, bearing
Contact.
650.
Light blue. Take contact first, then manage. Contact east northeast 065.
Oh, that's it.
Roto, you want to call in troops in contact?
We got further down.
Helios, Viking 7 troops in contact, defending the fighting positions.
Understood.
Move him back.
I'm gonna stabilize him real quick.
Roger, where was he at?
Right on the other side of the wall. They're still there.
We'll provide security here for you. Just maintain medical. Anyone?
Alright, he doesn't want FE, so it's gotta be saline. He just got shot.
Clear.
Yeah, let's get this close.
Step friendly's dead. I'm gonna try and work the rest of these guys.
Charlie actual report contact on the north side.
I'm gonna move him out of the fire and get him into cover.
Very good. Let's keep doing medical here.
Yeah, I just want to get him into a spot where he's not getting shot at.
Yeah.
Viking 7 to Celio 6, come in, over.
It is Viking.
Sitrap, over.
Helios, this is Viking. We're currently conducting medical assistance to all of the civilians. We've taken one by red casualty and one by black casualty within the element, and maintaining security. It has died down in terms of contact at this time.
Understood. Understood. Report on the civilian casualties, over.
Charlie, I need you to collapse assist Bravo with the medical of the civilian casualties here. We got at least 3 with severe injuries and bleeding. Alpha maintain security on the north side of the company. Helios, this is Viking 7. We have 3 by civilian casualties that are being treated at this time, and they are all conscious, considered yellow.
Understood. Any black tag casualties, over.
Please,
that
wait.
ambulance so I can heal easily.
Helios, this is Viking. We request Helios 1 to push up ambulances for fully established medical purposes. Alright, did we find any,
Understood. Dispatching Helios 1,
Yeah,
2 times ambulance, extract arrival in T minus 2 mics. Out.
Okay, I see. Yeah, he was in this one. Helios Viking 7 also reports 1 by black civilian casualties.
1 times civilian black casualty, understood, over.
Alright. Pretty good. Good speed. The medical vehicles have come in now.
Where'd my binoculars go?
You should return to a conscious state, right?
It's severe.
Yeah, it can be just morphine.
No, that's what's that? Normal medical. I have to hit him with the that box thing.
Oh. Right. Alright, do we treat all the casualties in here?
Viking 7, this is Helios 6, come in, over.
Yes, this is Viking 7, Centra.
Be advised, due to incompetency of AI, only one ambulance could be dispatched at the moment. Will this suffice? Over.
Affirm, that will do. Also, be advised, all the civilian casualties have been set as green tags. We are currently troops in contact.
Bearing 060.
Understood, I have to be aware of
200 meters.
contacts. Viking 2 is engaging in the contacts across the bridge. At the moment, once contact has ceased, I'll move into the church forensics.
William Lewis is just going balls to the wall.
Backwards.
I got shot and dropped my binoculars. I don't know where they went. Oh well, they're gone.
I think if you get shot again, they come back.
This Viking reporting no contact entering church.
I don't think that's how it works.
Ready or not, because I just tried to kick the fucking door open.
Alright, please enter and take a seat.
Seat? You can do that.
There are no seats.
I mean those, however you call those, the chairs for
Pews.
those.
What's the key bind to sit down like that again?
Alright,
Also, police language.
alright, so, real quick, Rodal, would you just walk me through what you did and why, just briefly?
Alright, so what I did was get a clear, as we came on to the location, I tried to get a clear assessment of the situation, find the casualties, find the injuries, and develop from there. Once we had security set up and area locked down to an extent that was satisfactory, we conducted medical treatment and came under fire. At this point, we returned fire, won the firefight, and continued medical treatment as necessary.
Very nice.
Reports were going up continuously, and at the end, we were having an index.
Alright, anyone else notice anything? Anyone wants to comment something?
I would like to comment on something.
Sure.
For the purposes of this course, during the live fire portion, you should 100% have a cadre be the fire team lead, who is somewhat competent, and you should definitely turn on invulnerability if you can do that.
What do you mean? We should turn on? What was the second thing?
Turn on invulnerability so that I don't get shot in the head and immediately die.
Okay, that's a good point. Or, I mean, otherwise resurrect you in a moment. Right, noted, makes sense. Yeah, other than that, I think you, like, for the most part, every time you faced fire, I think you already, like, directed on winning the firefight. There was some sporadic fire, which, you know, that's the thing, if there's some pot shots being taken at a distance. This is the part where you need to consider, do I need a full squad, like full team to still, you know, go all in the firefights. Alright, thank you, Albert. So I think you did a pretty good job there. You fulfilled the purpose of this practical. We're almost done. We just have one final thing that's a bit hard to display here. So this was already kinda what you did, but so in the last two scenarios, those were always manageable by the amount of resources you had. So there were never more casualties than medical personnel. If there are more than 3 patients at the same time requiring priority treatment, then we talk about the so-called MASCAS, massive casualty accident being reported. So again, it's unproportionally high number of casualties compared to the medical personnel. So what does change in those MASCAS situations? Well, what you did was you just, look for the patient with a high priority, like you just treated the ones who were unconscious. One medic was always at one casualty, and you were able to use your full resources on that casualty. If you have more casualties than you can treat, however, then you need to prioritize very strictly. This is what the MASCAS is about. So, during a MASCAS, you do a so-called triage as part of the assessment in the FAIR process. So,
I think you cut out, so alright.
Second?
I think you've cut out.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Okay, so when you find a MASCAS, so more casualties than you can treat, then during the find stage, it is important to recognize it as such first and cooperate ASAP. The sooner you have enough medical personnel available, then the sooner critical patients can be addressed and the sooner you can return to regular TFC. So find who on site is able to assist you with a triage. So what you guys do during a MASCAS, again, it's very similar to how you did the FAIR process, except that you may also call someone out for being black tag, as in not just that, but also beyond saving. That might be the case if you see someone who's really fucked and you just do not have the medics to treat them. So what we do to maximize the survivability for all of them. I think you kinda did that already, but if you have that many amount of casualties, you do not treat every single red tag fully through with the priority treatment algorithm, so with saline, with meds and all, but instead you only apply tourniquets while checking on every individual casualty that is unconscious, and then move to the next casualties. So you first assess who of them is savable and who is dead yet, and those savable, attach the tourniquets and move to the next one until this is done with every patient and you have a number how many red tags you have. As mentioned, you might not be able to save everyone, in which case you need to make a controversial call. This is not about making a perfect decision, but making a viable decision and quickly, before more patients die. So a perfect decision on each individual patient will result in a worse outcome than a decent but quick decision, with the information available. So, you go through all the casualties and triage them based on the categories and all the red tags, all the uncons. You slap in the first triage only a tourniquet on them. This is done. Direct the other personnel, like riflemen who are not pulling security, to help you with bandaging the red tag casualties. This is the earliest stage where you actually use then bandages and other medications on those you deem savable. Once all of them are stable, like or not all of them, once enough of them are stable to the point where you can do individual one-to-one treatment again on every red tag, then you are officially out of the MASCAS situation and you revert back to regular tactical field care. At which point you reassess the yellow tag situations, the yellow tags and so on. Keep in mind that we are in a dynamic situation, so as you saw earlier with one of the guys, a guy that has been initially yellow tag can turn red tag because of ongoing blood loss. So in which case, the situation can change pretty quickly. So keep that in mind. But again, once enough patients are then stable and you can manage the situation with the medics just fine, you just do the regular fair assess with all the remaining casualties. So that was just a real quick overview of the MASCAS. It's a bit hard to include in the practical, so what it's called, I chose not to make specific MASCAS training. It is something that we would probably pick up in a more dedicated platoon medic course in the future. But for now, I think you did pretty good with the practical. And that being said, congratulations on completing the Combat Lifesaver course. The training received here today will enable you to be the critical link in the success of your unit's company battalion. Keep in mind that you can't save everyone, and your supplies as CLS is very limited, so you should practice with your squad operations and learn how to manage your equipment effectively on the battlefield. Not just effectively, but also efficiently. Remember, always put your safety first and use the care under fire drill in all scenarios where it applies. Harsh reality is, it is better if only you survive than if both you and a casualty die. That being said, I believe there we end the demo. We are 15 minutes beyond the time, but yeah, we are officially done. If this was a student class, you would be asked to fill out the survey, yada yada yada. And that being said, I believe, Colonel Bader, if you would be so kind, and stop the recording, and we go into the review.
Roger that. Stop recording.